Hello and welcome you all in my video tutorial. This video is for class 9th, chapter number 3rd, types of software part 2nd. As we already started this chapter and in previous video we have discussed classification of software, and as I told you, software is classified in two different parts: system software and application software. And in previous video we have discussed the parts of system software. First one we discussed operating system, second we discussed device driver. Now in this video, first I am going to discuss about language processor. Before starting this, let me tell you what is language processor. As you all know, your machine or your computer or any electronic device only understood machine language, that is binary language, nothing but 0 and 1. And the programmers use high level language to write a program. Or for example, if you are using any program, or if you are writing any program by using any of the programming language like C, C++, Java, or any of the programming language, so whatever program we write, that we write in high level language. And high level language is also known as human understandable language. After writing the program, the codes need to be translated into binary code which a computer understands. This is done by language processor. So there are various types of language processor that we have. The first one that we are going to discuss is assembler. Assembler or assembly language is a low level language. Low level language is also known as machine language or 0 or 1, where the programmer uses symbolic representation or names called mnemonics instead of numbers. An assembler is a program used to translate mnemonics operations code to their machine language so that computer understood the particular program. Now here just see that figure. Source code, it means assembly language, go through the assembler, then after it generate object code, that is machine code or machine language. It means the role of assembler is to translate the source code that is in assembly language. After that our machine understood that particular code, then it gave the respective output according to that particular program. Next language processor that we have is compiler. A compiler is a computer program that translates human readable source code of an entire program into the machine code or machine language. It converts the entire program at one go. If an error is found, it gives the error list along with the line number. Once the errors are removed, the compiler compiles the program. Compiler is not needed in memory after compilation. Execution with a compiler is faster. For example, C, C++, C#, or C#, Java, etc. Now if you observe this figure, source code, high level language, go through the compiler, and compiler convert that source code into machine code or machine language, that is called object code. One thing more here I want to tell you, dear students. As you all know, every language having their own grammar. In programming or in computer programming language also, We are having so many kinds of languages. Few I have mentioned here like C, C++, C has, Java. These all having their own grammars. And these translators' responsibility is not to convert source code into machine code. Their responsibility is to check the syntax and semantic error also. It means whatever program a programmer writes, the language translator responsibility is to check according to the grammar the all codes are written properly or not. If any mistakes is there, then the responsibility of that particular language processor to give a message or error message to the programmer that here a programmer commits mistakes. After that, if everything is correct or everything is correctly written in a source code, then after the language translator convert that particular source code into object code. Next language processor that I am going to discuss is interpreter. An interpreter converts a program written in high level language into machine language or machine program line by line. Dear student, please mind the difference. The major difference between compiler and interpreter is compiler reads whole program at one go, but interpreter reads line by line. And simultaneously execute the converted line. If any error is found, it displays the error and does not proceed till the error is rectified. As I told you, interpreter convert or check the program line by line, so that if interpreter finds any error or mistake in any of the line, then it stop the execution until that error rectified. The interpreter is needed in the memory along with the program for its execution. This is because the program cannot run unless it is interpreted. It is extremely helpful for learner and also it is removal of error. Execution with an interpreter is slow. It means compiler compiles faster or compiler speed is faster than interpreter. For example, basic language, Perl, Python or MATLAB. Next that I am going to discuss is utility software. This is also a part of system software. Utility software are the programs that supports the smooth functioning of a computer. Software utilities are specially designed to help the end user manage and tune the computer hardware and software and perform single task at a time. The utilities that you use depend on the operating system running on your computer. Some utilities helps you to avoid virus attacks and clean virus. Some helps for the backups. Some helps to recover data that has been accidentally erased and so on. Next, we have some utilities software. The first one is antivirus or antivirus software. Dear student, as you all know, antivirus software is used to detect and remove the malware from our computer is known as antivirus software. And antivirus software in a computer performs several tasks like it scans computer file to look for a virus, identify suspicious behavior from other computers on a network, remove the program which indicates infection or that is not good for our computer. So these are all tasks performed by our antivirus software, and some of the antivirus software that are available in markets like McAfee, AVG, Kaspersky, Norton and many more are there. Next utility that we have is disk defragmenter or disk defragmentation. What is this disk defragmentation? Dear student, as you all know, the storage of a file in several non-contiguous area of a disk rather than a single contiguous unit is called disk defragmentation. When a file is stored on a disk, the operating system searches from the file available free blocks on the disk and stored the file there. If the file is too large for one block, the operating system searches for the next free block and stores the next part of the file there. These blocks may not be continuous from or may be scattered over the disk. The fragmentation slows down the retrieval of data, so to remove this file fragmentation, a disk defragmenter program is used that rearrange all files and dictionaries into one contiguous area of disk and consolidate the free space in one contiguous block. For example, dear student, overall disk defragmentation responsibility is to manage the disk and store the data inside the disk. Next utility software that we have is disk cleaner. These are the programs inbuilt in operating system to find and delete unwanted files from the computer to free disk or free space. It could be temporary file or folder automatically created during the internet surfing session on the computer. Dear student, as you all know, in your computer whenever we are surfing on internet or whenever we are performing any task, our computer creates a log file or temporary file that is for that all file have no use. So this application, disk cleaner application, clean our disk whenever we need, and it erases all the junk files that is not used for the user. Next that we have is file and folder management. File and folder management, in this first one is backup. This is the process of recovering data in case of damage or accidental loss. At times, the hard disk of a system fails and loses all the files stored in it, so an intelligent user keeps his files in backup storage device or in order to restore original file at the time of such failure. It means backup means suppose you have so many data in your computer. So for that a smart user can keep all the data separate or having a backup for such a condition if your hard disk is failure or accidentally if you may lose any important data. So that time you can access your data from that backup. Next we have system restore. It is a utility in Windows to restore your computer system files to an earlier point in a time. It is a way to undo system changes in your computer without affecting your personal files such as email, document, photos. System restore option uses feature called system protection to create and save restore points regularly on your computer. It means suppose you are doing any setting and that setting later on you realize that is not effective, so from system restore you can set all the default setting of your system without affecting your files. Next is compression. Compression is a technique which is used to compress files. It is helped to reduce storage size and ensure faster data transfer. Dear student, compression means, for example, suppose you are having a file and that file size is suppose 100 MB and you want to reduce that particular size without affecting any information stored inside that particular file. So for this we have option compression, and for compression we have a most popular compression software, that is WinZip. By using this software you can reduce or compress your file without losing the data. Next point that I am going to discuss is encryption and decryption. First, let me tell you what is encryption. Encryption is the process of conversion of data into a form that cannot be easily understood by anyone except those processing special information, usually refers to say as key. This is done using an algorithm called Keeper. The result of the process is encrypted information referred as Keeper text. Encryption means if you are sending any data to anyone, so in place of sending all the information in the form of text, use encryption method. Encryption means if you are doing encryption for that data, it cannot be easily understood by anyone except those person who encrypt that particular data. Encryption is primarily used in defense services. It is even used in civilian systems like online banking, e-commerce, mobile services, etc. To facilitate secret communication and privacy of data, FlexScript is one of the most popular encrypting software which can be downloaded free of charge from the website. Next is decryption. Decryption is the process of converting Keeper text back to plain text. To encrypt more than a small amount of data, symmetric encryption is used. A symmetric key is used during both the encryption and decryption processes. Dear student, if you observe this figure, then plain text after encryption it produces Keeper text after decryption again in the form of plain text. The simple meaning of this encryption and decryption is, for example, if you want to send any information to anyone, so don't send that particular information in plain text. Encrypt that information in Keeper text, then after send that particular information to anyone, so that that particular information is not accessed by any person, any of the person and it is safe also. Next I am going to discuss is application software. Application software is a program or group of program designed for end users. The first application software that we have is general purpose application software. General purpose application software is a type of application that can be used for variety of tasks. It is not limited to one particular function. It is designed to meet the needs of individuals or organizations. These type of software are also known as packages. Some commonly used general purpose system softwares are word processor, spreadsheet software, presentation software, database management system, accounting application, web browsers, email client, a media player, a file viewer, console game or photo editor, and apart from this many more are there. If we discuss about word processor, a word processor helps you to create a structured text document quickly and efficiently. It provides multiple features to manipulate the text in a desired way. You can easily add, delete, rearrange or beautify the text through formatting and also produce a hard copy of the document. We have so many word processing softwares like MS Word, Writer, WordPad, WordPro, etc. Next general purpose application software that we have is spreadsheet or electronic spreadsheet. A spreadsheet program helps to perform calculation, analyze data and display the information in tabular manner. It is a program that manipulates numbers using its inbuilt formula and functions such as addition, average, minimum, maximum, power, square root, etc. We can also display the data in the form of charts or graphs. This way, we can understand and analyze the data in better way. Some of these application areas are financial accounting, cost analysis, interest calculation, text calculation, and some of the software those are using for this electronic spreadsheet like MS Excel, Calc, etc. Next, presentation software. Presentation software, it is used to present an idea or concept. This software helps to create and display slides on a computer for businesses, educational purpose. It lets you create graphics, charts, animation and video clips. For example, MS PowerPoint, Impress, etc. Next is database management system, DBMS. DBMS or database is a application software for maintaining large amount of data. We can create our database and find and update records quickly. We can also present the information in the form of professional designed report, and some of the popular database softwares are MS Access, Oracle, SQL, DB2, Sybase, and many more are there. The same like we have accounting application. This is very much useful for accounting sector to find or to prepare balance sheets of an organization, and the most important thing is we are using so many general purpose softwares like web browser and email client, media player, file viewer, and many more. Next that I am going to discuss is specific purpose application software. By name it is clear, specific purpose means it is used for a specific task. General purpose means it is used for day-to-day life, or it is used for general works that a user can perform by using computer. But specific purpose softwares are used for a specific job or a specific work. Specific purpose application software are developed by programmer to perform only a specific task. There are some specific purpose softwares which are described as account management, reservation system, attendance system, school inventory control, payroll system, billing system. It means specific purpose softwares like, dear student, might you have seen, if you are going any shopping mall, so there you can see on billing counter they have a machine. That particular machine is designed and developed for a specific task like generating the bill. Same like reservation system, same like inventory management, payroll system, billing system, and many more. Next software that we have is custom software or customized software. It is a software that is specially developed for some specific organization or user. Some of the customized software like commercial website, business database, software for private firm, etc. And these customized software is specially designed for particular organization or user according to their requirements. It is built to cater the need of a specific company, not the mass market. For example, dear student, suppose you are having a shop, and for that particular shop, if you want a software to maintain all the stocks, so for that you need a software that works according to your need. And that kind of software we call it customized software. And customized software uses for business purpose or to maintain business database. Next point that I am going to discuss is mobile application or mobile app. An application software designed to do a specific job. The word app is an abbreviation of application. An app enables you to do something specific like you can paint, draw, read map or barcode, take photographs, play game, watch and edit video, and do almost anything that the programmers have to create the app for, but within the technical limitation of your device. However, with the rapid rise in the use of a smartphone, the word app is mostly used to refer the software that runs on mobile phones. And that all softwares you can download easily from Google Play Store on Android phone or App Store on iOS. Next, if we discuss the types of apps, so we have total 3 types of apps. Desktop apps, or application, web application or mobile application. Desktop application means these application or apps can be used on a desktop or laptop. Generally they do not need web access or internet and run independently on a computer. For example, like word processor, spreadsheet, Paint, Notepad, WordPad, Photoshop, and many more applications that run on a single machine known as desktop application. Next is web application. These applications require internet connection. These are usually browser based and stored on remote server. User access them like any other web page and then save on their computer by creating a bookmark to that particular page. And these apps can used as and when required for any device. For example, Google Map, Instant Messenger, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, emails, and many more services that we can access through web. And all applications are known as web applications. Next we have is mobile apps. These applications run on a smartphone or a tablet. These applications are usually smaller in size, and as the mobile device have limited memory, mobile app also come preloaded on the smartphone or tablet. Dear student, as you can see, whenever you purchase any new mobile, so many by default applications are loaded on your mobile, and you are able to use that all applications by using your smartphone or tablet. Next, if we discuss about classification of mobile apps, so we have native application and hybrid application. Mobile apps are usually developed for a specific operating system and device. This is because each device may have different specifications like GPS, dual SIM, cameras, memory, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, infrared, etc. Application or apps that are developed keeping in mind the device specification are known as native apps. Most native apps come pre-installed on a new phone, can be downloaded from, or it can be downloaded from Play Store. Whereas hybrid apps contains the feature of both web application and native application. These apps can download from Play Store and installed on the device. These applications requires the device to be connected to the internet. Hybrid app can be stored partly on the local drive device and partly on the remote server. Some hybrid apps can be operated offline with limited functionality by using the cached page. For example, dear student, the most popular gaming app like Candy Crush and many more are there. These are the hybrid apps that can be played on mobile phone as well as on the web. So these all about classification of a software. Hope you will understood. Thank you.